What's up?
Freezing?
Huh?
You're freezing?
Oh, of course, it's cold. It's cold, bird.
Alright, let's do a good warm up, nice and slow for about 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna get into the workout. I want you to be warm before we start, okay? All right, okay, we're about 7 days, 10 hours, and 53 minutes to Andrew steps on stage. So we're doing a light warm up, and we're actually simulating the exercise that we're gonna do in the actual workout, but we're just gonna get him warm. Andrew's from Dubai. It's very hot and warm there, so basically this is like anybody training in Alaska right now for him. So he's very dry, he's very lean. We don't want him to hurt himself, so we're basically just warming him up, simulating the movements we're gonna do in an actual workout, and just till he gets warm. This process takes about 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll start pyramiding up with weight and reps, and then try to get a really good pump and do some posing.
7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2.
So today will be a shoulder workout and maintenance. I said in previous videos, maintenance is thing that we touch on. It could be every day, it could be every other day, it could be 3 times a week. So we have a maintenance program for his hamstring and glutes. We will touch that today, and his calves today as well. So it's gonna be shoulders and then go into maintenance. And maintenance is always consecutive exercises. It all depends if we're trying to get something bigger. We'll try to fill it up at the beginning of the workout. If we're trying to reduce something, we wait till he's totally depleted and hit those body parts at that time. So since we want his hamstrings and glutes to come in nice and hard, we're gonna do that at the end of the workout. It's gonna be a series of different hamstring exercises, different glute exercises, and then we're gonna bump the calves in there as well. But it's just a maintenance to keep everything balanced. So now his calories are low, his carbs are low. I'm just trying not to lose any body parts in this phase, so we have to keep blood and nitrogen in the muscle at this time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Success. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
attack the side delts first. I don't want to superset the side delts because I don't want to lose those. So let's attack the side delts first. Let's pyramid up in weight and decrease in reps. So the first one is going to be 20 reps with the 25s.
Seat understanding.
Let's let them do standing. And then we're going to do an actual minute in between. Let's keep them warm. It's real cold in here, so let's keep them warm, keep them going. All right, set it up.
Twenty
20 reps, 25s. Thumb over the top. All right, let's go. Bring it.
One.
That's it.
Two.
That's it. Keep the
Three.
elbow higher than the wrist. Elbow
Four.
higher than the wrist.
5,
Good.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now we're starting with the side laterals for the side deltoid. And he's gonna hold the bar like this with all fingers on the same side, even his thumb. Because I believe when you hook it in like this, you actually try to push it up and your elbow can drop, and it's gonna make the shoulders look a little bit funny, a little bit different. So with delts, it's all about the cap on the delt. You want that cap, you want that roundness, I believe when you do that and keep the elbow higher than the wrist, actually turning down, that helps builds that cap and goes down in the arm and get a nice deep cut there. Especially so thumb on the same side as the other fingers, and you pull it up instead of trying to push it up.
8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good.
Good job. So as Andrew performing a movement, I'm looking at the mirror. So a few things I want to see. I want to see the wrist lower than the elbow, and I want to see that roundness in the delt come up. So what I want to see in the mirror, I want to see these circles. I want to see the delts, the tricep, the forearm. Whoop, 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 whoop. If he tries to do this, it's going to go down. It's not going to look the same. So I'm looking for all those round circles. In a minute and a half, we got 12 minutes to finish this sequence of delts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good job. Okay. And see up here, we have a big clock here on the wall, and it's down to the second. So when you guys are working out, it's very important that you get a pump in the beginning of your workout. And you're gonna get a pump in the beginning of your workout by going with very limited rest in between sets. When you get that pump in the beginning of the workout, you can carry that pump all the way through the whole workout. So real important. So we do an actual minute in between the actual sets. Now about 2 or 3 exercises in, he doesn't have any more carbs. The carbs are gone. He's actually in the fat burning zone. So once he gets in the fat burning zone, you cannot let him rest too much, because then he goes back and forth between carbs and glycogen. So once he's in the fat burning zone, keep him there, and that way he can fuel through the workout. If I let him rest too much, he'll just get tired and want to give up. 14 reps. And the press back to back, in between each sets like that. So next thing you do, I have a good idea of what I want to do in the next exercise. Now when I touch his delts, I want to see what's firing, see where the actual pump is going, and then I want to carry that round. So let's say if I'm touching his delts and I feel the rear delts are really kicking in there, we'll do a rear delt movement. If I touch it here and it's doing the front delt, we'll do a front delt movement to actually keep the flow of the muscle going, the flow of the pump going. So that should already be set up. We got a bunch of assistants. We got Prince, we got Hansi, we got Danny over here. What the hell, Danny?
think it's the bathroom.
See, Danny's taking a shit. So anyway, so we're right back at it. So, but you have to go real fast, and we train these athletes. You know, I'm training a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment. Now, I like to think about that, and I don't want to hurt it, but I don't want to baby it where the muscle will atrophy. Because, like I said, he's doing cardio, he's posing, he's doing workouts, and it's very easy to get into a point where the body wants to consume muscle for fuel. So that's why we have to work out to stress the muscle so it won't atrophy. Going up 5 pounds.
10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Good.
So like I said, I have a pretty good idea of the exercises I want to do before we start. But the athlete, at least at some point, will dictate me going another route. Whether his front delt feels a little hinky, whether his pec is kind of not actually firing, or whether the lat is not connecting. So, and I have 2 or 3 exercises in mind of what I want to do at that time, and the athlete actually dictates which way I go.
10 seconds.
All right, bring it home. Last one. Then we're going straight over the front delt.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Up, and we're going back to our press right here, back to back. Minute rest in between. 15 reps. So now normally I don't use. Now you notice we did the free weight with the delts. I use free weight to build. I use cables to actually shape. Yes, you can build with a cable, but it's just not the efficient way of doing that. You want to build something, you have to get on free weight. So it's really important. Hit the other back. He has the block on his head.
Oh, nice.
15. Right. 1.
All right, so now we're doing this full range of motion here
3.
with the front raises, and then we're going to a V press with the bar, the volume out. And this is all for a certain pose, for that most muscular, which I think is really, really, really important for him, that we keep that pose very dominant. So I want the front delt very prominent in these poses he does to the front. Now 2 rounds in.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 37. Good. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So when I put this gym together, I never intended for it to be a lot of people in the gym. I really wanted the gym where an old school gym with old school equipment, and we're building old school bodies, you know, the classic look, small waist, round shoulders, big arms, big quads, calves, hamstrings. You know, that's what I wanted. The muscles, the muscle belly is actually full and popping out at you in a 3D type look. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a gym where it would be packed with people just talking and laughing and joking around. There's no TVs in the gym. We have a really loud sound system, and I wanted to put people together that were on the same page. There's nothing wrong with social media when it's used properly, but I didn't want people just doing things for social media or people trying to be famous. I don't think every person should be famous. I think only people that inspire that actually brings something to something should be famous. And I want to put out good content. And I want to build great athletes that stand out. I want their muscles to look out. So I don't care if they're the biggest, I don't care if they're the hardest, but I want the shape, like an old school, the things that I fell in love in bodybuilding. So that's what this gym is for. So sometimes it may be one person in here, it may be 10, but it's not gonna be the type of athletes I'm trying to build. It's not gonna be 100 people in the gym, it'll never happen.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When I first opened the gym, we were in the garage training in the garage, you know, a little small 20 by 20 garage. And I wanted more for the guys that were supporting me. Like Hans would drive in, he would train 4 days a week. He hit a lot of PRs in there. He prepped actually for a show in the garage. Yep. And I wanted to build a place, and I wanted to build a place where like beginners like Hans could train with the best in the world. To me, that's what it's all about. When you get to a certain point, you reach back and you help pull somebody up. So when Hans is at the Olympia, he'll reach back and train with some beginner and inspire that person to do things the correct way. And I think the correct way is not just how you train, it's how you carry yourself as well, that you want to leave a mark in this sport that you were a good person. So as me coming up in the sport, I found out the people at the bottom were okay. And the people way at the top were okay. It just seemed like the people in the middle, they wanted to keep the people below them down so they couldn't pass them. And to me, that's not what it's about. It's about when I'm gonna use Andrew for example. If I said, hey Hans, you're jumping in with Andrew, and Hans has only done 2 shows, Andrew would say, okay, let's go. And that's what it's all about. When you get to a certain point, you can reach back and help somebody else.
7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So an example, so he comes in 3 hours before Andrew gets here. He hurries up before his workout, he does his cardio, and then he stays and supports Andrew. It's not about Andrew Jag, you know, best in the world bodybuilder. It's about camaraderie, and he stays here as long as it takes to help him get ready for his show. And in return, Andrew will do the same exact thing, help him get ready for his show. It's about building relationships here.
13, 14, 15.
All right, so we're gonna use a very firm psychopath. Let's bring it back a little bit more. Right there. This is a firm pad, and what is this psychopath? And I get a lot of crap about the pads, and I was telling the guys, every machine in the gym has a pad, and certain people like certain machines because they can feel it more. Like you could be walking with a workout partner and say, hey, let's do leg press. You go, no, I don't like that one, I like this one. And because it may hit you in a different area or a different part of the leg. So right here, we're gonna do some rear delt, and we're gonna do the back. So we're gonna do another cycle pad to bring Andrew in a different angle here. And we're gonna go back, lead him with the elbow, and we're gonna try to get him to contract his rear delt and contract a part of his back. Now, I'm doing the back now because that was one of his weak points and one of his criticisms. I think it's one of his strongest points now, but we still got to make sure we bring that package to the show. And so, like when people come into the gym, and the reason why I don't do membership is because if I want this machine and Hans is on it, I don't want to stop Hans from working out. I don't want to stop you from working out. So I can't have a lot of people in the gym that's in my way. So it has to be that way. So if you're coming in, you're flying in, you're staying with me, and I'm prepping for a show, you want me to do the machine that I want to do or the default machine because somebody's on it. So that's why the gym is small and we don't let that many people in. But I want the gym to have enough people where there's an actual atmosphere where you can have some adrenaline and feed off people, but not to the point where you're in the way or getting distracted.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so we're gonna use a lat pull down, but I'm using it for rear delt. A lot of times when you do rear delt, if you do it incorrectly, you hit, and last time you do lat pull down, you usually just hit your rear delt. People don't understand that. You might get some residual outside lat in there, but mostly primarily, they're doing this and cranking their rear delt. Now, I'm gonna use that to my advantage this point. We're gonna do a rear delt movement there, and then come over and do a rear delt movement here. We're only gonna do 3 sets because I don't wanna burn up any body parts. Let's go, over there.
Nope.
See right? Let's do 3 sets, maybe 4. This area, or go up with the hand. Now, it is gonna get some back in there, which is good. I want you to get your back, but we're gonna go across here. You might feel something in here. That's perfectly fine. So don't try to just focus on the rear delt.
It tends to be that way, right, Chris? Like when you're trying to hit some of this, you'll get some of this. When you're trying to hit some of this,
Well,
you'll get
see,
some of that.
people often know what they'll do. They'll say, "Oh, let's train shoulders," but when you do a pose, it's not just your shoulder they're looking at. They're looking at the whole thing. So sometimes you have to train for the actual pose and not just the body part. That's what this is for. We're trying to train for the body part when you do that rear double. So this can never be good enough because that is the primary focus of that rear double bicep. Legal double. Perfect.
1, 2, 3.
See, this is gonna hit no matter what, but Andrew has to fight to go in here. So Andrew, try to go in here. That's it, perfect. That's it, perfect.
8.
Yeah. So all this is gonna catch, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta fight. That's where he comes in and comes in here. And then, now,
2.
I can guess he's squeezing.
3.
I can guess, but if I touch it, I know if I he's squeezing or not.
5. Good.
Going rear, lat pull down, facing machine, underhand grip, and I do want you to use your rear delt on the lat pull down.
Lat pull down?
Over here. When somebody goes like this, that's gonna be more lats.
Yeah.
But if you bring it right here, the rear delt's gonna hit. So open and close all what you did over there. No, other way. Turn around. Turn your hands the other way.
Got it.
Under grip?
Turn the other way.
Like this?
Right there.
This one?
Right there. Perfect. See that rear delt? See it right there? That's the rear delt.
3.
Feel it, Andrew? Right there. Take your time. Take your time. Enjoy it. That's it.
6.
Perfect. Perfect.
7. 8.
Perfect.
9.
Yeah, I can see it.
10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Now, if you watch him in that, he adjusted to feel more of his rear delt. He actually was here and he felt that as he brought it up. So that's what the touching is all for. Like sometimes he's deeply on the internet, oh, you keep touching the guy, you're touching the guy. You have to know what he's doing. You have to know. You cannot see through his shirt. And then I'm not gonna guess, I'm gonna touch it and see if that muscle is contracting. You have to do that. Something heavy, or you get deep into the fascia, and I say, hey guy, I need 15. Around 8 or 9, he's just trying to get the weight off of him unless I push him back into squeezing or flexing. He's just trying to get it off or do 6 more. He's not thinking about that, and that's what a trainer is for. No, go back into the movement and give me those last 6. Just don't give me 6. When you're trying to, if something falls on you, you just want it off. You're not thinking about flexing your tricep unless somebody tells you have to do that. And that's what happens. When you're drowning, you're reaching for anything to save yourself. That same thing with this. When you're under 2,000 pounds or you got 600 pounds on your chest, you're not thinking about contracting your chest. Now, will your chest contract? Yes, it will, because you need that muscle to get off of you. But bodybuilding is squeezing and flexing the muscle as well. It's not just moving muscle. You have furniture movers that lift heavy stuff all day. They can't do the Olympia, but why? Because they're just trying to get this from point A to point B. They're not trying to flex or thinking about the muscle. I want him to move around to find out exactly where it is. Now, he may be an inch too high or an inch too low, like that. And I'm looking and I see it moving, but if I touch it, I can actually tell when he squeezes it. And then when I do touch it, after he's been training for a while, he knows to squeeze right there.
4,
In there.
3, 2, 1.
To get a really good rear double bicep.
7,
That's it, perfect.
8,
Now that's somebody that's feeling the muscle,
10,
contracting the muscle, and working towards a particular pose. He's just not moving weight. There you go. There you go, perfect.
5.
Perfect. Something I would do with somebody, so when a person has really good shape, I try to make their shape better. I never focus on size. So Chris Aceto is actually doing the actual protocol prep. I let him focus on that, what his weight is. My thing is to make him more shapely. That's my job, to make him more shapely. So that's why we didn't start off with behind the neck shoulder press and front of the neck shoulder press, dumbbell press, because I use those for mass movements. So I think one of his main strengths is, he is a big guy, but it's a lot of big guys out there. One of his main strengths is how the muscle is round, how the muscle connects to each other. So I need to make sure I don't destroy his shape and just make him big. Once he's just big, he's just another big guy. So in the off season, we will do heavy behind the neck shoulder press. We will start off with those heavy movements, but right now, when we're actually 7 days out, my thing is just to make shape better and better and better and better. A big arm means nothing without shape. A big back means nothing without the small muscles in there. Sometimes we have Andrew lifting 10 pounds to work his back because we want to make sure it's a really good pose. So you have to, if your strength is size and you don't have, your shape is garbage, okay, just get big as possible and roll with that. But his thing is aesthetics, lines, roundness, muscle belly, so we can make sure we never lose that. So that's our primary focus here. Aceto with the food, he's gonna make sure the weight is right where he wants it to be. I'm gonna make sure he looks a certain way.
It's good.
3,
There you go.
4,
Perfect.
5,
Perfect.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I believe we are the dream team. I believe we work really well together because we all have egos, but my job or my place in bodybuilding is not to be the guy up front shining and all this other stuff. My job is to be behind the guy that does all that. My job is to be behind Andrew, to push him to get there. He's a star, I'm not the star. And Aceto feels exactly the same way. So our job is, he does the nutrition, he does the vitamins and nutrients and all this stuff to make his body a certain condition, to put him in a place where he can grow, put him in a place where he's actually losing body fat. And my job is to make sure the muscles look a certain way. So he never steps over into my realm. I never step over into him. I never say, hey man, do you think he needs more protein? No. He'll say, hey, how does he look in person? And I say, no, he's kind of fading on the arm session. He'll let me know that, but never does he say, hey, have him do squats or have him do leg extensions. I never say, hey, maybe you should have another cup of rice. And that's why we work well together, because we respect each other. I think he's great at what he does. He thinks I'm great at what he do. And that together we can build great athletes. But never do I step over into his realm, and never do he step over into mine. Aceto is actually my biggest fan, and he knows I'm actually his biggest fan. And I think that's why we work so well together, and that's why we complement our athletes, because we both want to see Andrew the best he's ever been. The best he's ever been, not the best at the show, the best he's ever been. And once we achieve this certain look, we're going to take this picture and go, okay, we need to top that. But we never cross over to each other's places. Like, he never say, hey, don't let him work out today, or don't let him do that today. He says, just go for it, do what you want, and we keep each other informed of what we're doing. If Chris will say, it's gonna be hard for him tomorrow. So he's not telling me to pull back, he's just saying, if he runs out of gas, this is why he's running out of gas. Or he might say, oh, he's pretty, he's plenty, he's fueled up, you can go for it. Like that, and the same thing. And I'll say, well, Andrew had a good day today, or Andrew had a okay day today, or like that. So we let each other know like that without stepping in each other's zones.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But no, he moves it down because he feels it better.
Oh, because it,
Move it down a little bit, move it down a little bit. There you go. We will be doing these every day for the next 7 days, 6 more days. And these are modified to change the engagement on it. I have this idea that I want to bring out my athletes with a very, very busy, sharp side leg and inner thigh. And I'm using these machines to facilitate that. So in the next coming years, I'm kind of like when someone builds a house or someone builds a custom car, they kind of have like signature things. So I want, there's a few signature body parts that I want to be synonymous with in bodybuilding that my athletes have, and a busy side leg, side glute is one of those things that I want to achieve. So I'm formulating a bunch of exercises to achieve that. And I think it's gonna be real cool when you see one of my athletes go, wow, okay, they train with Psycho. You see his side leg, you see how his hamstring is, you see the connection. So we do things a little bit different here, and I want to build a signature bodybuilder that the judges know. That's what I'm doing.